All right, so I'm going to do this really quickly and make a quick rough draft of this. Forgive me if it's very unprofessional, but this is easier than me typing it all up. And I'm a visual learner anyway, so this is just going to help me explain it better anyways. And if I forget something, I can jump back to it. So I'm going to show this to you. I wouldn't copy this exactly. You can make your own, but you'll get the idea of how we do it by looking at this. This is my beautiful drawing. You can make a poster of it, and just kidding, you don't want to do that. It's terrible. So, but you can make your own. Okay, so we do 2 weeks worth of kickball. We do, the first week we do extreme kickball, and that's what I'm going to show you. And then the second week, we split them up. I'll take two teams outside to play kickball and teach the basic rules, or the actual game of kickball. But this helps everybody understand kickball so much better. This is extreme kickball, and it helps me teach the basic fundamentals, that you kick the ball, you touch first, second, and third, and go all the way back home, and then that's how you get a home run, or that's how you get a run. We also teach them during this game, helps them understand and learn how kids get out, whether you can catch a ball in the air, throw the ball at the kids, chase them down and tag them, or tag the base before the runner gets there. So we teach all that during extreme kickball. And I'll go over the difference here in just a little bit. And you'll understand why, how you can work with this game with 90 to 100 kids in your gym. So the setup is like this. So before you even start playing, you're going to have all 4 corners of your gym being used. These are the kickers right here. They will be lined up against the wall waiting their turn. These kids are waiting to kick. And then this is your defensive group. This is whenever the game starts. These kids will run out here and position themselves on defense. And these kids are taking a break. So how this works is it's the rotation. They kick. As soon as they get done kicking, they're going to move over here to the break wall, and they're going to sit and watch. And then as soon as these kids are done, like as soon as that round is over or whatever, then these kids are going to come out on defense. All right. So there's not going to be anybody here. They're not going to rotate here and then go to defense. Usually from here, they're just going to go straight out to defense. Once they're done with defense, they will rotate over here to the waiting to kick line. And these kids, as soon as it's time to rotate, these kids will just walk their way right down here and get ready to kick. Okay, so that's the rotation. The kids are going to kick. Here's how extreme kickball works. They're going to kick, and they're going to run to first base, and they can stay there. They can stay here. I use big blue mats, and this is why I use the huge blue mats. You can fit as many kids on these blue mats as you can. So I tell them in extreme kickball, they can run and they can stand on this blue mat and wait here the entire game if they want to. Okay. So this person can kick, run to first, and stay there. The next person can kick. You can have 2 people on base, 3, 4 people on base, and it happens. Okay. Some kids get brave and they run to second after the next person kicks or whatever. But you can have as many kids on here as you want. All right. And they're slowly working their way around. So you got people kicking. That's why they just doing it that way keeps the flow of the game. Okay. And for the younger kids, it also helps them. You know, you're going to have kids who, like little sweet innocent girls or boys that are just nerds and don't get it. They won't be paying attention to the person kicking. That way you're not stopping the game. You're like, bro, you got to run. Let's go. You know, you got to move. He can't run until you go. Like, you don't have to worry about that in extreme kickball. They kick, they run to second base or first base. If the person that's on base wants to run to second or wants to run to third, they can do that at their own discretion. So I leave that on them. Sometimes I encourage kids to run because they'll just sit there the whole time. So you can encourage them to go. I've had 5 kids on third base, and I've had 5 kids run to home, and they score 5 runs in one kick. I've seen that happen before, and that happens. So you got to have a way to keep score. I'm using my phone. And that's why I'm sitting at home plate doing that. So that's how we do it. This is extreme kickball. The next week, what I would do is we would rotate. Coach will be inside, and he'll play extreme kickball with a group of kids, and then I will take kids outside to our kickball field And then we'll do the regular rules of kickball. And the reason we do that is we've already taught fundamentals using extreme kickball. And when we get outside, that's whenever I can really focus on a small group of kids. And it's easier to explain to 30, 40 kids the rules of kickball than trying to explain it to 90 kids, or however many kids you have in the gym. So we just get out here and we teach as we go, as we're playing with extreme kickball. And then we really break it down the second week when we as long as the weather's good, we really break it down on how to actually play kickball and show them how to coach, how to do the game themselves so that they can run it at recess on their own. I'm trying to think of a few questions that you might have. As far as the kicking goes, our kids do a great job at holding themselves accountable. So if they have already kicked, since I'm sitting here at home plate, and let's say they've made a full rotation, I already asked them, I say, look, raise your hand if you have not kicked. The kids are pretty honest. You have a couple of kids who are like, oh, I haven't kicked yet. And I'm like, yes, you have, because I know you. Send them to the end. Make sure everybody kicks before they start kicking for the second time. We still do 3 outs, and that's how we rotate. So we teach them once the defense gets 3 outs, then we rotate. And so we've had kids get 3 out in a row, and they get upset because, only 3 kids got to kick. But, it goes pretty quick. I had to draw the line. Sometimes you're going to have like a dream team, and I'll draw the line. I'm like, look, you guys are just keep making scores. So if you want to do this, like, you can either do 3 outs or you can do 6 points and then you rotate. That helps it go, because you will have kids get on a team and they're like a dream team and you just can't stop them. Or the defense team is absolutely terrible. So you want to draw a line there. That's up to you depending on how many kids you do. So let's see, what else? Trying to think. I don't know if that helps, but that's what I do. What I sometimes do is there are kids, to cut down on the numbers. There's kids that don't want to play, number one, and then there's kids that usually they can't play because they're either wearing flip-flops. So if the kids are wearing sandals, I don't make them play. That helps you out because that cuts down on the numbers. The less kids you have in this game obviously is better. So I won't make an announcement, but I'll make sure that if kids are wearing dresses or sandals or anything like that, anything inappropriate footwear, I set them out. And then if kids come up to me and say, Coach, I don't want to play, I'm like, okay, that's fine, go sit down. But I'm not going to make an announcement and say, all right, if you don't want to play, go sit against this wall. You're going to have like 30 kids sit against this wall, because that's just the way it is. You need kids playing. You don't want 30 kids sitting out, because then you're too busy monitoring them. But if you can sit 10 kids out, 10, 12 kids out because of what they're wearing, or maybe a couple of kids come up that they just ask if they don't want to play, or they're not feeling good, their head hurts, say, oh, you want to sit out against the wall? That's fine. You can sit out today. And that cuts down on your numbers, and that makes the kids that actually do want to play, it makes it more fun for them because they can get more chances in on playing. What else? I don't know. If you have any questions, let me know. I can answer those probably a lot better. But again, we do 1 week of extreme kickball, and we just basically teach the basic fundamentals. And then the second week, we split up. I'll take a group outside to really focus on the official rules of kickball, meaning you can't stay on base. Like if you're on first, the person kicks, you got to run to second no matter what. Even if you're going to get out, you have to run. So I don't teach that to 90 kids. I would rather teach that to 40 kids. It's a lot easier. Anyway, so that's what I do. The kids love it. They ask to play it all the time. They love extreme. They don't want to play kickball. They want to play extreme kickball. But this teaches them the basics. And plus we use we have a kind of a larger gator ball, not your standard ones that you usually see. I have one that I bought that's, it's pretty big. It's probably 10 inches diameter. And so we kick that. And that way, if they want to throw it at the kids, they can. It's not going to hurt them. They kick it against the wall, and it bounces off the wall. And so they play off of stuff around in the gym. So extreme kickball is a lot more fun than regular kickball, simply because they're not worried about getting out. They're just kicking the ball and running to the base, kicking the ball and running to the base. Anyways, and you can put as many kids on those blue mats as you can. If you don't have blue mats, you can tape off an area. You just kind of get creative with it. So yeah. Anyways, if you have any questions, let me know. I hope this video actually goes through. All right, bye.